Alright, so this is my roller version KAGAMA, and today guys we've got all the electrics to install on it, and then we've got a lot of batch ready mods to do to it. So let's start off with the electronics. So we've got the Team Corrali Curon 825 motor. This is 6x capable. It's a 2050 kV motor, and this is actually one that I removed from my Kronos, hence why it's got the motor mount already as well, and then it's got a 13 tooth pinion on there as well. Now this 13 tooth pinion I've been really happy with that motor, guys. We've got to go with the Team Corrali 150 amp ESC. This is the RTR electronics that you get with the KAGAMA if you're gonna buy it as an RTR. This has been removed from my Kronos as well, and it's a really good powerful ESC. I've had zero issues with it. It's the Torox 185 and it's waterproof as well. So that's the ESC and motor. And then for a steering servo, guys, I've gone for this here. This is a 35 kg waterproof all metal geared eBay special. Part number is DS3235, and honestly guys, I've got one of these in my Kraton XL and I've been really happy with it. Also obviously it comes with the 25 tooth spline, so you don't have to do any modifications as well. It drops straight in. And then for the remote and receiver, we've gotten for Spektrum, and this is one that I've not used before. This is the SR6200A receiver, AVC capable as well. For that, guys, obviously we've gone for the DX3 controller. Now this controller I've been really happy with. I've got a good few of these, and it's probably one of the best RTR controllers out there. That's the electronics, and then once we've got the electronics installed, guys, we've got to go over the car and get it ready for its first outing. And to do that, guys, we've got to first reinforce the body. So for that, guys, we've got some shoe glue, drywall tape, and we've got a glue gun as well. Highly recommend you get that done. And then you can see back here we've got some blue tack. This is actually what I use to seal up my receiver box, and when I do that install I will show you how I do that, and I've had good luck with it so far. It's worked really well. Then we've got this here. This is what I'm going to be putting into the battery tray. It's a dense foam block, and it helps stop the batteries from moving forward on any heavy nose impacts, and it also cushions it as well. And then obviously with the battery tray we need a center strap as well. This again is something from eBay. I will be leaving a link in the description for all of these bits that I use for the car, guys. And essentially just a long velcro strap will go from front to back, and it will support the two Team Corrali straps that come on the battery. Along with that, guys, I've got to blue Loctite all the wheel nuts all the way around, stop them from falling off. I've got to vent all the tires as well, and then guys I'm going to do my mod to the rear spoiler as well to stop that from hopefully breaking off. So all of these bits I've got to get done today, so it's going to be an action-packed video, guys. So I said I'm going to start with the electronics first, and then we'll go. So just before we start, guys, I want to go over the hardware that you actually get with the roller. So this is a pack that you get in with the manual. Here you have the 13 tooth pinion, you have the 2 bolts for the motor mount, you have the grub screw for the pinion, and inside that pack you also get 1 screw for the servo as well. Then going forward, the servo, you do get the 4 screws to hold the steering servo in its place. What you don't get are the screws for the ESC, so you're gonna have to provide them yourself. So guys, I think we'll start with the ESC first. So let me get everything set up. Let's get wrenching. Okay, so just before we carry on, I've put some power to this car. I need to get some power to the steering servo, make sure it's all centered up, and then I can attach the horn. Once I'm happy with everything, I can then start sealing everything up. Make sure all the wires are out the way. Let's turn her on. It's a good sign. You can hear the servo working. Let's see if we've got any power. Oh, we got some power. Right, okay, let's just make sure everything's nice and straight. So the steering's got to be all straight. There we go. So I've now calibrated, we've got the horns stuck on there, so we want to make sure steering's working. You can see it's nice and fast. Power's working, reverse is working, and the gyro's working as well, guys. Right, so now I've got to seal up the receiver box. So first I'm going to stick some on the bottom of my receiver to keep it stuck down. So next I'm going to go around all this little area here. You can see there's a little lip all the way around the edge with some blue tack. I'm going to put a load of glue tack in this little area here where all the wires are coming through, and just push it down if you can. This stuff isn't permanent, easy to remove if you need to get back into your receiver box and everything else. And then it's just a case of getting little pieces and then just making sausages out of it, something like that, and then just start placing it all the way around. Okay guys, so that's done. You can see I've just put a generous amount of blue tack all the way around and try to just go over the edges as well, so when the cover goes on and it seals all together, you won't have any kind of gaps in there. I've tried to refrain from covering up any of the holes up. It doesn't matter if you do, it's not going to be the end of the world. Now I'm ready to pop this through, and you'll notice this again isn't sealed, but what we'll have to do with this one is pop the wire through, and then we'll seal that up afterwards. Just make sure we don't trap any of the wires when we're putting the cover back on. Up nicely. Alright, so that's all the electronics now installed. The mods. So now guys, let's get on with the protection mods. I think we'll start with the wheels first. Okay guys, that's the tires, the lock nuts done, and now my wing mount has the mod that I like to do to it. So another thing I have done, and I've done it off camera just to save some time guys, I know this video is dragging on a bit, but I've also reinforced my body shell as well, so that's got the drywall tape and the shoe glue already applied to it. And with regards to areas that I've gone a little harder on, this sort of area here is where I've seen the Kronos body crack, so I've gone a little heavier on there. And then along the front here where all these ribs and all of these kind of area here, I've gone a bit harder on things like these little bits here, which tend to be a little bit more flexible. But definitely it's made the body a lot more stronger guys. It's going to make it last a lot longer as well. So now the car is ready for its first outing. So just a quick recap of everything that we've done to this car now. So obviously we've done the reinforcement on the body, so we've vented the tires as well, so there's 2 holes in each wheel all the way around, and it's a good size vent hole as well. I'm happy with that. I've blue Loctited all the wheel nuts all the way around, and then I've cranked down on them, make sure they're not going to turn. Once they're in position, let that dry overnight, hopefully 24 hours to cure, and they should be good to go as well. We've done the rear wing mod, and with that guys, you can just see there we've got 3 screws on both sides, and I put washers in as well, and I've adjusted that, so hopefully that will make it last a bit longer. We've got all the electronics installed as well. This is my battery tray now. You can see I've got my phone block at the front. I use these straps, so I'll put this center strap in from front to back as well, and I strap all the wires down with the battery as well, just to stop them flying around when you're out bashing. We've got the Torox 185 ESC installed, and we've got the button on the side. We've got my eBay special servo in there, really strong, really happy with it. I will turn it on and I'll show you how strong that thing is. We've got my DX3 radio now hooked up to it as well, and that is working all good. I've sealed the receiver box tray with some blue tack as well, so I hope that's going to last as well. We've got the Curon 825 motor installed as well, with a 13 tooth pinion on there as well. So guys, let's get some power to it, and I want to show you how powerful the steering servo is. Everything else is working, so quick squeeze. So I'm happy with it all. This car is now ready for its first outing. Everything fits nice and snug. One last thing I've got to do to this now is spray it all down with some WD-40 and leave it overnight and get them plastics a bit more flexible. So guys, super excited to get this thing out. I hope you found today's video helpful, useful and informative. If you're thinking about getting yourself a Kagama, if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you do guys. And can't wait for its first bash as well. So until then guys, see you.